Well, Jay, obviously a very difficult afternoon. A big loss today. It says 7-0 loss at home. What's your feelings on today's performance?
Feelings for that, obviously you come away embarrassed more than anything. Yes, I learned a lot about my players. I learned a lot about the difference between being at the top of the league and being where you are in the league. And I know where I want to be in the league. So I feel that I've learned where I need to make changes. I need to learn where I need to continue building different types of mentalities. And just generally progressing forward for me now and get this game out of the way with, because I can't wait for the next game to get this one outside, because I felt from the word go that we were second best to everything. They won every ball, they passed the ball better than us, they won every aerial battle. Their positional sense and game management was far better than what we were, as well as we were a little bit slow and to react to anything. We were very sort of reactive as opposed to being proactive. The ball bounced in a certain area, we never anticipated to be in those areas. And as I said, I learned a lot. I'm not going to stand there and name individuals that massively performed under par, because if they don't identify that themselves, then I don't know when they ever will.
We don't need to talk about the goals, but this season you've inherited to start with a team that wasn't yours, and you've started to make some changes. And you've highlighted there that today's performance, and I'm sure other games as well. Yep. You're learning a lot about the team that you've got, and the strength that they've got, the inner strength that they've got to react to games like today. Last week against Chichester, I know you weren't overly happy with the first half performance,
yep.
But the second half performance, obviously you did what you did at half time, and we came out fighting. And probably for the fans today, the disappointing thing was we didn't seem to come out with that mentality. Nothing changed from the first half to the second half today. So again, from your point of view, it must be disappointing.
Exactly that. There was no reaction anyway beforehand. We approached the game at the start differently, so we didn't get the same reaction, hopefully, as in terms of management, the way we delivered it, as we did against the first half against Chichester. This time, even at half time, when we laid down exactly what we wanted and sort of tried to cheer them up a little bit, nothing changed in the second half. And for me, as a player, when I played, that if that come in at half time of me, I know second half I want to go out and prove a point. Regardless of what's happened in the first half, the second half you make a difference, you make a change. That never happened. And it's almost like just gave up. Completely gave up, and the side that will play for us as management, myself, Steve and Bubsy, that was not going to happen. That's not the mentality we're going to have, and that's definitely not the mentality we're going to create. So from our perspective, going forward, we need to identify where we need to strengthen things up. I don't think anyone, if they got a phone call after this game, could sit there and fight a plausible cause for not having things changed around for them. But as I said, a honeymoon period is over for us now. We've played a few games. We've rode luck in some games, but performed really well in other games. But we've got no consistency at the moment, and the consistency is key to where I see Burgess as a club needing to be in their league. We're a big club. We're a club that should be in the at least in the top 6 of this division, and we should be, as a team as a whole, be in the league above maybe. But doing and delivering and being there are two different things. So that's the mentality we need to change and the progressions we need to make.
From Saturday, you made a couple of changes today. I mean, what was your thought process behind that? Are you trying to give people minutes? Because we've got a lot of games coming up. It's a few cup games. So what was your thought process behind the changes that you made today?
Well, the simple one is Cad's had to sit out because he cut his head open. So he's got stitches in his head, can't play. Then I changed the forward line a little bit because when Charlie come on, it made a massive impact. He made a massive impact at Three Bridges when he come on. He made a massive impact against Chichester when he come on. So if you make an impact when you're coming on the pitch, then you fight for a starting place. And that's the thing. I don't just want 11 that are decent. I want a squad that's decent. So regardless of whatever changes I make, I expect better delivered on the pitch than that. And also Pat out of midfield. Pat's not a natural midfielder, but even when he come on today, he proved what a good head he is and why he's been in the game for as long as he has, because he can deal with those situations. Yes, he's not a natural midfielder, but he reads the game better than most people. And in hindsight, you can say we should change things over, but when you start with natural players in positions, then you expect them to deliver. And as I said, it's not just a squad of 11 or players of 11. It's a squad of 16, maybe 18.
Today's game, leading up to today's game, obviously Ashford are an informed team, and as you have highlighted in the interview today, they're very good on the pitch. They're very well organised. We move on to Tuesday in the Velocity Cup. We're going to be facing very similar opposition with Hastings, who are riding high. After today's performance, what's your approach going to be to Tuesday's game?
Well, obviously the approach, the main thing is the reaction that you need from the team that you have. Because if I sat in that dressing room after that game, I know I'll be looking forward to my next game. And the mentality and the approach you take for the next game is you can't wait for it, because these are things, the wrongs you need to correct, you want to make right. In terms of our promotion approach as management, we'll discuss about that. We'll discuss who we think are the right personnel for the right positions, and the game plan that we need to approach Hastings with. But either way around, like today's game, regardless if they're a top team or not, we shouldn't be losing by a scoreline that we lost by. Don't care if they're the top team in the league. If you lose, then you make it a closer game than what you did today.
One thing I did want to ask you about is that previously with other performances where we haven't performed, we've got such a good fan base here, and again we had a decent crowd today, and the guys were singing and banging their drums. What's your thoughts on the Alliance as they're called? The fact that they're turning up week in, week out, and even after today's performance, cheering you guys off. What's your thought on our fan base?
The whole club, and especially the fan base, which is what creates the atmosphere, and that's what I'm disappointed that we haven't delivered for them. And obviously I want them to deliver for us as a management team, deliver for themselves as players. But the people who pay money to come and watch a game like that, and we deliver what we delivered, that's why I feel embarrassed about the way we've approached it. And even them to stand by the tunnel clapping our players in at the end. And I made that a point to the players when I spoke to them after the game. And if you want to ask the players what I said, then you ask them. I'm not going to say on camera. If that's the sort of fan base, and this is an atmosphere that you can create at a club, this is a club you want to play at. I've been at other clubs where we had 2 men and a dog there, but my players never gave that. They would have loved to have played in front of a crowd like what we've got down here, and a noisy crowd at that as well. And people's even friends and family are in the crowd. You go on the pitch and you want to go and have a good conversation with them afterwards. I don't think anyone can today. And as I said, we feel embarrassing ourselves. We feel we've let a lot of people down, and do you know what? We're not going to drop our bottom lips about it. We'll pick ourselves up and we'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
Well, as I said, Jay, difficult game today. Thanks for your honesty in the interview, and good luck on Tuesday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.